guys. Zeke's dead.
Hello, and welcome to the stream. This is round 8 in Tier 2. Maybe it's round 7. I don't know. It's in the UK. Sorry, it's Tier 3, so it is round 8.
There you go.
And that is that. I mean, we had a bit of a buggy lobby. It's a bit of a rough start. We have some new features to demonstrate to everyone. If you would indulge me, we can check them.
Meanwhile, if you don't want to check out the new features, you can grab a pitchfork for either A, Valve, or B, Codemasters. It's probably
There
one of
we
the two.
go. And that is our new thing. We have live driver POVs. So we can close that one and go to this one. God damn it. I just opened up the driver POV and I can see that Draken is still on the loading screen. Ah, there he is.
Draken?
That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
Draken's coming out of the pits right now.
All right, so yeah, that is the new. We have and apparently I don't know how to turn those off properly. We have picture-in-picture, so we can follow people on their laps. We got a few people on outlaps. Actually, Draken is on an outlap in the moment, so we could watch somebody else's and just have a little picture-in-picture. So we can follow along. I mean, there's a lot of people on outlap, so it's going to be a bit before we see any on-track action. Never introduced ourselves. I'm Kia, and joining me is Smithy. Like I said, Tier 3, and, yeah, it should be a fun one. Potentially raining, I don't know. Somebody could probably check the telemetry website, but I can't. So, yeah. What are we expecting today?
Lots of DRS trains, which means your new feature is going to be very useful.
You know what
yep.
I'm expecting today?
Yep.
I'm expecting at least 3 deaths in cops.
Only 3?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, I'll say 3 on the left and 1 on the right.
Yeah, I'll go with that. 3 on the left and 1 on the right. Cops is... Yeah, you're probably gonna get someone trying to do a cheeky move with the cops, and then both are gonna push too hard, and then they'll both crash out. Should we have a safety car jar?
No, that seems like it would be a terrible idea. Picture-in-picture, you have Draken on his... Please tell me that's not his outlap. That's gonna be so massively delayed.
He's about to start, is it? He's about to start a hot lap as he
Yeah,
crosses the line.
I think that delay might be a really long one. So, you know what? We can go with Hollers instead, who I believe is actually on an outlap. So, you know what? Let's just cancel that altogether. But Draken is leading the very first of the hot laps, coming through turn 5 here. This is the arena section. He's going to get onto the Wellington straight. It's a very long DRS straight, followed by, I believe, it's Brooklands, and then Laffield and Woodcock on the exit. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is Laffield, and he is keeping it fairly tight. He does wash out just a bit, not really keeping to the curves as much as he can, but that is to be expected when you're putting the car under power. You generally do tend to wash just a bit wide. Coming through cops now, and he, oh, wow, that's a pretty major lift there. I would not expect that much and that early, but he does get through cops. Coming through Maggots and Beckett's here, yeah, that's a pretty gnarly lift right there. Downshifts into 5th. You generally want to keep it in 6th or 7th. 7th ideally. Coming down now the Hanger straight into, let's call this Stowe. I think it's Stowe. He keeps
and then it's Vale.
I mean, that was closer to the curves than he was on other corners, but he still kind of missed the apex there. Coming into Vale, as you said, the final 3 turns of the lap, coming across the line to set our first time of a 1:29.8, and then we go to Let's Talk Golf, who sets a 1:28.2. Wowzers!
I don't expect these times to be very representative, because you're probably going for bankers, especially with dangerous corners like Cops and Maggots and Beckett's, and pretty much all of them, actually.
Absolutely. We got a 1:28.2 in the form of Sir Snowman in the, I'm going to call that a Williams. I believe it's a Williams.
Yep.
And then third person coming across the line here with a 128.1. Very nicely done from him. Tours and Draken back across the line. Or sorry, that was Tours across the line on mediums, a 129.1. It's a fairly good time, especially, you know, tier 3 medium runs. So I guess what that indicates to us is it will be a dry race, unless these guys just don't check their weather radars before setting tires. That would be a bit odd to me, as Tours is actually coming up on the AlphaTauri of, I don't know, I'm gonna call it Backpack? Yeah, of Backpack,
Yeah.
who spun off in turn 5.
Is that a spin-off or a... Yeah, let's call it a spin-off. Anyone setting hot laps? McLaren's abandoned his lap.
Yeah, I think most of the people are on their way in. I think Bacon Juice might be on his right now. I'm not sure why it just randomly disabled the telemetry for us, but there we go.
Bacon juice.
Van, if you don't behave in chat, I'm gonna ban you.
Oh.
Bacon
Let's
Juice
look at
on the
Bacon Juice
Wellington. Coming into Brooklands now.
That's a very good breaking point.
Yep. Downshifts 5th, goes all the way to the edge and keeps it not as tight, but he doesn't even... Nah, he doesn't even crest a second apex. He comes out, doesn't hit the edge of the circuit. We'll have to see how early he lifts for cops.
Who needs apexes anyway?
Oh, that's yeah, that was a downshift and a brake and a complete liftoff. That is unnecessary. That's the bankerest of banker laps.
On my screen, he almost crashed out. So I think he had to catch a slide. As we see a McLaren coming out into the pits, that doesn't matter. Going through Stowe. And doesn't invalidate?
That's
Come
not
on.
an invalidation. He might have been too slow, but he was fairly well over the line. Coming through Vale now, it will be a 129.
9?
No, yes. 129.908 for Bacon Juice. Good enough for P12. Just a fraction under Hero. Or Lubis Hamilton, if you're in our Discord. Oh, and Hero nearly claps the, who was that? That was somebody on pit exit. He nearly clapped into him. We can see a replay of it.
Was that Haulers? I think that was Haulers.
I have no clue.
Oh my.
Jeez Louise. And you know what? I can't even activate my replay. So something is catastrophically broken there.
So far, Bird Person's probably in the right position because I expect most of these times to be bankers, but Bird Person is on pole right now with a medium tire. You might even consider retiring.
I don't think no. He's soft tires for his best. He just has the mediums fit.
Ah, right. As he comes out again.
Yeah, so now he's out on the mediums. He's going to be leading the second pack of hot lappers.
Nope, Fife
there'll be haulers actually first. And you know what? We can watch Fife and haulers.
Fife. Let's go with Fife.
Yeah.
Actually, let's go with haulers. Haulers is about to cross the line.
Well, we can see. No, we can see both of them through the power of our driver cam. Whenever the driver cam wants to. Whenever the driver cam wants to work. There it is.
Yeah. If you appreciate what Kia's doing for us, please feel free to give us a like, whatever it is on Twitch.
Use your Twitch Primes or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Van, I notice you have a Prime. Please use it. Pfeiffer starts his hot lap. Looks like Haulers is doing decent. Oh no, and Fife has missed it. Oh, that's the first corner. So you know what? That means that we can go. Oh boy, how is this gonna work? No, and yeah, okay, that's fine. And we are gonna go on to haulers now because
which is doing a very good lap. A little bit loose out of cops, but nothing too major. On mediums as well. So if he gets a good time here, he's in a very good position in the race.
Apologies
Going-
for the clunky hotkeys, but
Going through the hall,
it's unfortunate.
going through hangar straight, all the way to the left. That's a very good apex. Little bit loose on the exit though.
You
That'll cost
probably,
a little bit
want to
of
put your tire a bit more on the right apex of Stowe. You want to really actually catch the curve. It doesn't. You can accelerate very well on it.
Yeah. It's
28.1, so that is the fastest time from haulers, potentially due to track evolution, potentially not. Who knows?
I would expect haulers to be very happy with that time, especially.
Well, now we're
mediums.
along with Bird Person, who is about to set a response time to haulers. He has, I mean, we'll see in a second change. Shifts down to 7th, but very lightly lifts for cops. I think that's going to be the play here. And yeah, very, very light lifting through Maggots and then into Beckett's lift a lot, break down to 6th, accelerate out. And that's he is improving on his soft time, so that is very good news from him. Haulers is actually only 7 thousandths above him, so I have no doubt the Bird Person's going to take it unless he had a monstrous lap 1.
He doesn't take the exit on the curb though, so that might cost him a little bit of time as he goes through the final corner to set a 128.380.
Which is 2.5 tenths worse than his last time, and he actually loses the spot to Sir Snowman. Meat Shield coming across the line now. Sets a 129.5. It's actually 4 hundredths worse than his last time, so we're not going to see much improvement there. We're going to go on to Backback, who actually spun earlier. He's going to be starting his own lap. And who else can we watch? Hero's probably about to start his own lap, unless that's Fergie. I can go check now. Yeah, that was Hero about to start his own lap. We can follow Backpack all the way through. Is Draken? No, Draken is in the pits, and Haulers is also in the pits.
P1 to P11 are all on alternate tire sets right now.
That's their fit. I wonder what their... No, that is their fastest, actually. Yeah. So, obviously, Trash and Let's Talk Golf both took out sets of mediums while we were on board with Haulers and set a pretty fast time. So the thing is, with the soft medium, it's... As we saw in the Tier 1 race, the strategies are closer than you might expect on a different track where there's an option to start on the harder tires. The strategy is quite close if you can make the softs work for you. So it will really be, I mean, up to the drivers to determine whether losing that track position is worth it, especially on this track. But I think, given that they can be in the top 10, other than Seaway, who will need to improve probably on softs, it is, just a risk balance equation, and, you leave yourself sort of vulnerable if you don't have a response set on the track evolution at the very end of qualifying, just in case at the last minute you get pipped. As Backpack sets a he's baiting me with that almost swear, and we're of course a PG family friendly channel. We would never talk about anything inappropriate. So Trash Panda actually retired. He is oh no, he retired by accident. I do not think that was intentional.
I crashed. Yeah.
There'll be Fife coming. Yeah, that'll be on the right side of cops. So that's 1 for tonight. Now we need 3 on the left.
3 on the left. Going back to your soft-medium strategy, the good thing about soft is that you get tractor position, but then the DR, you can really follow a car pretty easily here. So you could probably, it's really easy to keep up mediums on the first spin. The trick is whether the safety car comes out in the beginning or the end, or not at all. Because I think medium soft is a little bit faster. But if the safety car comes out at the right time, then you're kind of caught with the pants down, and you could either do double soft or take a hard tire to the end, which is not ideal.
Yeah, it is, especially on a track where, we do have safety cars on reduced, but, people are still likely to crash out and DNF themselves in the most strange of corners. Wow, actually, speaking of Seaway, I think he's on for a pretty decent time, and that was a very nice stow from him. We'll have to see what his time is as he's coming through the final turn, and he sets a 129.7, and it's
That's
actually
slower.
not an improvement, which is good enough for 13th, though.
Yeah, but again, you're looking at the soft medium times, and the medium times are like within 1/10 of the soft times. So it's actually not a bad strategy to start mediums. Is that a fight I see going through cops?
No, it is a car on an outlap yielding.
To
Sorry,
a
not
car.
not on an outlap. He's on an invalid lap yielding. That was
Yep.
Fife yielding to Sir Snowman.
Oh, and the other thing in this track, you have to stay within the white lines. Penalties are going to play a huge part here, especially going through maggot packets.
I actually find that Tier 3 is among the more conservative tiers when it comes to track limits and not pushing them as much as Tier 1 and 2. So I do wonder how penalties are going to factor into it. I definitely think that a few people are going to... Actually, you know what? I think we're going to see extremes. We're going to see people with no penalties, and then we're going to see people with like 9 seconds. I think 3 seconds is going to be pretty rare. If you extend here, you extend a lot.
Yeah.
Fife actually setting himself up with a brilliant turn 1. He goes almost off course with how wide he went. And he's diving through these turns, 3 and 4, very well. A little early on the power for turns 5. Down the Wellington now. He's got DRS plus a tow from the car in front. And I do think even he might be out of fuel by the end of this, but this is going to be a pretty good lap for him as he comes
And the
now.
car in front of him invalidates at the perfect time to let him through.
Yes, he does. Although Fife probably would have benefited from the tow down the hangar straight here. Coming down cops, we're really going to see how this Sector 1 benefited him. And he, I mean, it was a bit too much of a lift for my liking, but I'm not sure really what his car setup is. As he's coming through, down into 7th for Beckett's a bit early, down into 6th on Chapel exit, or Chapel entry. And he's improved by 6/10 in that sector alone. Yeah, I really do think the lap's been great. Plus the track evolution, this is gonna set up Pfeiffer for a fairly good position here. I think he might crack the top 10 at this rate.
He needs to get this exit right because
lock.
he probably does
Oh, but
time.
that was a beautiful entry into Vale. He just took the exact right amount of curbs, improves by a second, up at a P7 for Pfeiffer.
I don't know if he'll be happy with that, if I'm honest, but here we are.
He was P15, so he better be pretty happy with it.
Meanwhile, Hollers is on an outlap. That is probably... My clock says 7 seconds, but again, Codemasters, please fix your game.
You know what? We don't need to question this. We can check. What does his clock say, chat? Someone could read that. Oh, like it disappeared. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, me. It's back. What does this clock say? He doesn't have a clock. That's fantastic. Thank you, Hollers, for being such a valuable resource. But no, I do think they're gonna have time. Honestly, like the thing's probably a minute ahead or so. That's like the usual, and he's gonna have the perfect opportunity to choose whether he wants to set a time on softs, which he probably actually won't, considering he's at the top, and I don't think there's people really on pace to beat it. And I say that, and Bird Person is actually improving, but just marginally over his medium lap. I do think he should be content with a P3 on mediums. It's really only if he slips down past like P4 or something, but he is going for it ultimately. We can follow now with Bird Person, as we will have the lay-in for Hollers up. We can see how he's progressing. You can see his stream is actually quite delayed, unfortunately, but so be it.
This is only 7 thousandths up on Bird Person on his best time, so you'd be stupid not to have another go.
And actually, Bird Person's invalidated as that, so it does not matter.
Hollis doesn't know that though, which means we can see him. Oh, he does. I think he abandoned his lap. That was not the exit you want to go through that corner.
We can check. I mean, he's still a 10th up on his time for Sector 2. We'll have to see what his...
So, Snowman is P2 confirmed, starting on mediums. That's probably who I'd bet on, if I was a betting man. As we go through the hangar straight...
Oh, Fergie snipes pole position with that soft... Honestly, at this point, Hollers needs to abandon. He should not be sending this time, and that's exactly what it is. He
and
comes
goes straight into the pits.
Good. Hero might be the only one who can improve, but it's not going to be enough to knock Haulers off. Hero improves into P10 at the very last moment, and that is your grid. Fergie with a very last-minute pole position, and Haulers choosing, honestly, correctly, he will be the only one in the top 10 starting on mediums.
Fergie with that clutch 127.7 is going to put him on pole position.
And honestly, the soft mediums, it's not that bad of a strategy. He could totally make this work.
So it is Haulers who starts on mediums, and Sir Snowman who starts on softs.
Yeah. And I imagine most of the back runners will choose to go for mediums, for Lord knows what reason. But
if you think you can follow the car in front of you, there is no reason not to start on mediums. But then some people might crash out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name any names. I'm just saying Cops is a very dangerous corner.
Although we do have reduced safety car, which is really something to factor in. We've had, like, fewer than one safety car per race average after we switched, where we were getting, like, 3 or 4 before.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, the problem with Silverstone is that even with safety cars, it's pretty hard to overtake. It's easy to follow, but it doesn't mean you can stick your nose somewhere. You can just stick your nose and expect the other guy to get out of the way. Most corners you kind of need
that is the racing methodology of Tier 3 predominantly. Well, in the case of Fife, it's actually come across the track and rear end somebody. That was great. Beautiful doing. Fife really needs a W here.
I commentate for Tier 3 because I like to watch death and destruction. So, come on, guys.
Tier 3 has historically always been the best tier to watch. Tier 1's really boring with, like, really mechanical, skilled fights. Tier 2 is just, like, people who think they can race but can't and just get angry about it. But Tier 3, you're all chill, but you're terrible. Like, that's the vibe, and it's brilliant.
You know what? If you put safety car increased in Tier 1, they would probably get a more interesting race. Drivers would not enjoy it.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah, the drivers would not enjoy it, but it would be
neither would the commentary nor the stream, because we have to sit here for 5 minutes thinking of dumb things to say.
There are plenty of dumb things you can say in the world.
Yeah, but not nearly enough for PG.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The formation lap underway, not a giant spread in the field, though Bird Person certainly trying to take his time for Lord knows what reason. Yeah, we'll do position changes off the start, broadcast and camera, hide that little menu, and we are good. Yeah, wow, that's sorry, 3-inch Willie is now the leader of the little gap that's forming. I wonder how many people in the front will be like Mercedes in Mexico and very pissed at how slow this lap is going. Oh! And that is a collision with Pfeiffer, who is getting a bit too close. They both narrowly avoid disqualification from the formation lap, but that is that. Pfeiffer just had a bit of a brown pants moment, and that was, I mean, nothing bad's gonna happen. They're not gonna DNF. Nobody's gonna. Actually, I mean, you could technically report that, but like nobody's gonna report it. It's just like Fife needs to learn how to drive under safety car conditions, I guess, because this is basically what it is.
We get you want to overtake. Just wait for the green flag. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how this green flag's gonna hold up. Or have the
predictive pit stop strategy provided to you by AWS does a soft medium or soft hard. Don't listen to AWS. You do not want to do a soft hard.
Yeah, the soft hard is totally garbage. If you end up in a position where you do need to like soft hard, just do soft medium. Like honestly.
Yeah, you'd rather do soft medium. I tried soft hard in another league race I was in. That was absolute trash.
Let me just fix the telemetry real quick.
Yep, as we see the cars lining up for the grid. If you're a Tier 3 driver and you left it on AI to go to the bathroom, now is a good time to come back.
No, I can't fix the telemetry that quickly. It's going to take a second. The grid is forming up.
You might want to hold on to that thought as the grid is lining up. It only takes a few seconds for the race to start and for someone to crash out.
Alright, the lights are going off, but Lord knows they are not synchronized. They are off for us, but not the drivers yet, who go now. And that is a very good start by Bird Person. He's up in position, and Trash Panda gaining 3 just right off the bat, coming through turn 1. That's some wild little waves up there, and there's trouble in the back, a little dust kicked up. That's Let's Talk Golf to the back. Backpack up 4 positions from the start. Trash Panda up 2. He does lose one of the positions. He was fighting, jostling with Pfeiffer off the start there. And looks like we are already settled in. And, I mean, there's only 1 spin at turn 1. I call that a success.
Snowman had to defend a little bit off track. We might see that in the steward's room a little bit later, but for now, he's P3.
Well, no, we literally won't. If your report is that somebody passed you off track, we literally throw it out. That's not something we deal with. We let the game deal with that, and we do not open the Pandora's box of policing what the game already polices.
Speaking of... Oh, okay. I read that wrong. I thought he was getting a warning for that, but he didn't get a warning at all. Thank you, Codemasters.
Pfeiffer deploying on the straights, but actually, nope. He deploys, toggles it, and then deploys again. Looks like, yeah, I mean, it's DRS train without a DRS actually active, as Backpack gets the drop on Tours. That's actually a fairly close pack in the back, as Hero is into the pits on the first lap. Ooh, Backpack almost rear-ending Tours there.
As Meat Shield loses... What's going on with Meat Shield?
Ooh, Sir Snowman having a bit of a moment, catches a bit of a moment there as he kicks up some dirt from from off the track. But Mr. Ultra, up 1 position, and yeah, still Tourist, Trash Panda, and Backpack all having fairly good races. Hero, Meat Shield, and Let's Talk Golf not having the funnest of times.
Yeah, Meat Shield, they're battling each other hard, and they're about to lose DRS. They're about to lose DRS with the pack in front. You really need to stay in the pack in this race.
Well, DRS is still not enabled, but it will be vital when it happens.
Yes. As Fergie goes through Maggot to Beckett, if I were Fergie, I would deploy all of my battery right now. You need to break away from the pack if you can.
On the other side, Haulers would then have like an entire lap to get back to you before that DRS straight even matters. But Haulers just outside of DRS range. Sir Snowman on his rear. Mr. Ultra closing actually fairly rapidly on Sir Snowman here.
I'm going to pay attention to the back as Dragonwolf is about to line up an overtake into Backpack, and does he pull it off? Gets the inside and does pull it off. Shoves Backpack way to the outside and pulls it off into Vale.
We can check what that looked like for Dragonwolf. Or can we? No, we can't. Alright, thank you.
Meanwhile, Meat Shield spun at the last corner.
Yeah, not having a fun race is he. Trash Panda right on the gearbox of Pfeiffer here. There we go. Gearbox. Yeah. Trash Panda on the gearbox of Pfeiffer, who is on the gearbox of 3-inch Willie. Always love reading that name. And it looks like they are going to tow each other just a bit. Mr. Ultra again right next to Sir Snowman, and he's going to get boosted through the DRS straight. Haulers has closed the DRS gap to Fergie, and it is opened up behind him to Sir Snowman. Oh, and Mr. Ultra goes very wide off track, picks up 3 warnings in 3 laps. That's not boding well for the rest of his race.
That's a very well-deserved 3-second penalty, I think.
Absolutely. He's not even deploying energy here, and he's close so rapidly to the back of Sir Snowman there. Pfeiffer also coming up to 3-inch Willie, but he, I wouldn't call that narrowly avoiding a collision, but that is avoiding some collision. That was, not as far as you would want it to be. As, yeah, the fast laps just come raining in at this point. Mr. Ultra, almost lining up side by side with Sir Snowman. How will it be into turn 3? And it looks like he's actually lost quite a bit of ground coming out of turn 1, so obviously not going to be setting up for a move just yet. Probably waiting for the Wellington Straight where he can get alongside, maybe go around the outside of Brooklands. Depends on how Sir Snowman wants to defend this. But Mr. Ultra is deploying his battery, and he has the DRS. He's off the ERS deployment now, and he isn't closed enough just yet to actually get a move done.
Meanwhile, in the back, Draken will spawn trying to defend against Backpack, and now he's one of the 3 backmarkers.
Unfortunate for him.
Mr. Ultra with the 3-second penalty. Who's on? Hollers is on mediums, isn't he?
Yes.
As long as he can hold P2, he's in a great position for the next stint so far. As the both of them break away from the pack from Sir Snowman and everyone behind.
Hollers might be just planning to run Fergie a few more laps and wait for his tires to drop off before
Mr. Ultra setting up a move. Goes to the outside of the corner, and does he make it stick? Thanks, Cody's. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. Going into Vale, goes through the inside, and there you are.
He actually locked his brakes going into Vale, so that was a bit of a solid defense there. Just going a bit extra, so you compromise the line. Oh, but he picks up another 3-second penalty. What did I say about the extremes? He might be like Kubele and get disqualified for too many track extensions last night. Which you can get, by the way. If you get too many track extensions, you will be disqualified.
I thought it was a
Sir Snowman going on the inside through Brooklands. He trying to get the cutback, Mr. Ultra is, but does not get it. And now they're very closely being followed by Bird Person and Bacon Juice, who did not break out of the DRS range. Pfeiffer is going to be the next one on the tail of someone who with Trash Panda on his own gearbox. But if we go back to Bird Person as he comes through comps in this very tight train, we're going to have to see how everyone deals with it. And it's looking like he might try to set himself up. Well, it was looking like he might try to set himself up to go side by side through. Oh man, that cut from Mr. Ultra was just gratuitous. That was a big old cut. And that was absolutely a warning, maybe 2. Now, Bird Person going on the inside of Stowe. No, he's not. He's actually hanging back. He was, half a car length aside. Just trying to see, is that position open? It's obviously not, but Bird Person is going to be lining up Mr. Ultra fairly soon. Haulers crossing the line with the fastest lap yet again on the mediums. Will the soft runners be able to bring it down? No. So it looks like Haulers actually might get past Fergie before the end of the stint. That is, of course, what happened with our medium softs. The mediums eventually lost the lead, actually, from having it at the very start. And, that's Bird Person spun in turn 3.
Oh, that's Bird Person. Oh. Going back to the pack in front, Sir Snowman and Mr. Ultra really need to work together. They clearly have
it looks like Trash Panda and Pfeiffer are having a little battle. Trash Panda gets the move done even before Brooklyn. So now through Luffield, he does keep the advantage over Pfeiffer fairly significantly, but Pfeiffer is coming back, especially along the inside. Pfeiffer's smart enough not to put anything on the inside of cops, but show tie ERS. The ERS is displayed, dummy. You want a specific driver's ERS? Yeah, we built a app for that. Don't, just use it. Pfeiffer picking up 3 seconds of penalties. He's the second driver to be issued multiple track extension warning penalties. And he's having to fend off Trash Panda Trash Panda is having to fend off Fife without DRS from in front. He is just outside of DRS range of Willie, and that might not be changing soon. But what will change soon is the lead of the race. Haulers right on the back of Fergie, cut in by 4/10 on his lead from last lap. And I have a feeling these mediums are coming to life, and those softs are dying of old age.
That really depends on how Hollers wants to play this. He could be a little bit more patient and try to build the gap to put the pack behind, or if he thinks he can go significantly faster, he can go for an overtake right now through Wellington Straight. Actually, no, he's a little bit far away as Fergie tries to break the toe. Yeah, that's not happening yet. But yeah, if Sir Snowman and Mr. Ultra keep tripping over each other, that's the race over. They clearly have the pace to go in front, but really don't need to, as
I mean,
Bacon
even
Juice
I
tries
don't
to
think
do an overtake and it doesn't work.
I don't think that the 5-second gap is purely down to the fighting. I do think that some amount of it is just due to the higher pace of the guys in front. I think they're going to break away regardless of what the people behind them do. So they are really effectively fighting for P3, and they know that P1 and P2 are probably out of reach, barring some catastrophic event from one of the drivers in front. So they're probably not trying to keep up with Hollers and Fergie because they know they can't. Fergie, yeah, breaking the toe on every single straight and darting back to the braking line when it's time. You gotta wonder how effective that really is if Hollers just follows him after, because of course Hollers can move to stay in the DRS, in the slipstream, and of course Hollers with DRS, has the pace advantage on Fergie. The breaking the toe really not rendering that much of an advantage. Hollers sets a personal best sector 3 coming through turn 1. He is as close as he was last lap. If he can nail this turn 3, 4, and 5 complex of Arena, he might actually have a chance for a move on the Wellington straight. He does get a fairly decent exit, short shifts to 4th, and he is off and away. He's 5/10ths behind, and he's not using his battery as Fergie moves all the way to the side and ducks back in. That's, I mean, it's interesting racing, but it's not something you see every day. The real F1 drivers, they don't break the toe nearly that much. Because it's just pointless after a amount of time. Actually, what you're doing in real life F1 by doing that is you're cooling your opponent's car.
Yes, and at this rate, as long as Fergie doesn't hold up Hollers too much, I don't think he really needs to go for the overtake. He just save your battery, go and deploy all of it.
Well, ideally, Hollers wants to extend the advantage the mediums are giving him right now in terms of pace as much as he can, and being stuck behind Fergie at this point is.
Never mind that, he deploys all of his battery through the hangar straight and does try to go for an overtake through the outside, leaves enough space and gets forced out by Fergie. But he comes back onto the inside in Vale and doesn't. Yes, has to back out of that.
It'd be interesting to know whether he picked up a warning or whether he slowed enough to be immune from that. But it looks like, he's still pretty close. Wellington still looks like an option depending on his turn 4 and 5 exit. And I mean, Fergie, it doesn't matter if you break the toe if he has the pace to overtake you. All you're doing is setting yourself up for a defense of the inside when you might not necessarily want to do that in the following corner. And yeah, Hollers looks like he's actually waiting up for Fergie in the braking zones. He's not exactly going when he wants to. Right on the gearbox, goes for the outside of Brooklands, and he
doesn't even need to deploy.
No, he has set a personal sector 1, and he is by. Although Fergie is fighting back through the exit of Woodcott, but no, Hollers is ahead as far as I can see, and this will continue into Cops. It'll be really unfortunate if Fergie, not used to following the car through Cops, does rear end Hollers, but it's not something that we haven't seen before. Fergie is still really close. I would be surprised if he doesn't pull for a move on the next straight. But honestly, like at this point, what he's doing is he's just losing them both pretty decent chunks of time. Fergie certainly does have the pace to get back by. He is going around the outside now of Stowe, and he doesn't even need to complete it in turn. He gets it done before the braking zone even begins.
Hollers didn't really fight that too much, but Fergie has a tire disadvantage, and it's gonna get worse and worse over time. Especially
and Fergie actually has a moment, and Hollers needs to slow up to avoid rear-ending him, as Mr. Ultra picks up another 3-second time penalty, as does Trash Panda.
What are the intervals looking at? There we go. 6 seconds. But the two in front are tripping over each other, but it doesn't really matter because they're up to 6 seconds. They're up to 6 seconds in front of P3.
This train of Sir Snowman and Mr. Ultra to Bacon Juice still hasn't budged its order at all. Mr. Ultra in the same old pattern. Actually, everyone... You know what? I take that back. Not everyone. Sir Snowman has a very good energy management. Up to 84% for him. Mr. Ultra down to 30 coming through left field after a fairly large regeneration zone. And Bacon also having fairly good energy management, hovering at 70. So he's just waiting for his moment to strike and really deploy to get by Mr. Ultra. But, what really does that get you if you're just going to be sandwiched between two cars instead of just behind one of them? Hollers now coming through. Chapel is still fairly close to Fergie.
Nomai gets a 3-second penalty.
Haller's going around the outside for Stowe. When will they choose the inside? Probably never. Is he going to get the move done, or will he get forced out again? He does not go wide. He has the inside for Vale, but he does no. He acquiesces. He lets Fergie by. He didn't have the pace to get it done there.
Their battery is looking about equivalent. So I'd say they need to be a little bit more patient, honestly. As we see a bunch of people coming into the pits, actually.
Yeah, that is Sir Snowman pulling off the undercut on Trash Panda, as is Mr. Ultra and 3-inch Willie.
What's this, lap 11? I think that is the computer recommended strategy, which isn't too bad here. As we see Haller's lining up another move, not quite yet. He'll probably try again into the hangar straight, and we'll see the inside-outside variation. You think he'll try something different this time?
No, I think he's still gonna go for the outside. Haller strikes me as a very vanilla kind of person. He only has one choice and he sticks with it. Vanilla, and it's gross. I mean, try something new for once. But coming through, he's actually deployed a bit of energy on the exit of Cops with a fairly clean Maggots and now Beckett's. Double shifts down into 6th, down into 5th for the Chapel turn on the hangar straight. He is deploying his battery, but not significantly, as he just stops as soon as he gets the DRS. So he's obviously not fully committing to this overtake, and he's just slotted in behind. I wonder if Fergie will now be coming into the pits. It looks like no. It looks like Fergie is going out one more. At this point, is he just out here on dying tires to annoy and slow down haulers? Maybe.
It's quite a long pit stop time here. So where would he come back out? 11, 7.
Fife is into the pits now.
I'm just wondering who he would get undercut by as he. Okay, let's see. If Fergie comes into the pits now, he'd probably come out behind Let's Talk Golf and P9. Haulers doesn't have this problem. He can keep going. What if you had your mediums right? You could probably go to the end of the race. Of course you'd get disqualified, but you could.
I don't think so. But we see that Mr. Ultra did come out behind Sir Snowman, and I mean, it's same old with these guys. The medium stint probably won't change that. Mr. Ultra's going to be looking for a move on a Sir Snowman who has now picked up time penalties of his own, but not nearly, as we can check the data. 9 seconds for him, 3 seconds for everyone else. It's really not working out so well for him. Haller's right on the back of Fergie, once again down the hangar straight. Nothing's happening here. I wonder if Haller's is coming. Sorry, not Haller's. Fergie is coming in now. Haller still has maybe 8-10 laps, and Fergie is in to the pits.
It'd be interesting to see where he comes out. Now Haller's needs to push. He has clean air. This is his time. Let's see who's fighting in the back. Trash Panda might line up and overtake into the hangar straight. As he cuts Maggots a little bit, that'll get him that'll get him a warning.
Coming in the hangar straight, he is definitely using his DRS, but he's that exit from Chapel really not doing him any favors. Fergie comes out in P. Yeah, I'm gonna call that probably P3. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna be there in time. So, pretty good from him. He obviously was in the lead. Everyone else who's on the sauce is probably already pit by now. Well, just about everyone. Some people might have changed a bit earlier. Torres in the mediums. Is he the only other medium runner, or is everyone else just gone and falling to the back? Either way, Torres is 18 seconds behind Haulers, and Fergie is a further 11, so Haulers really does have this gap to be playing with, and he's coming across the McLaren of Drakenwolf, who is a backmarker now, who just cut entirely across Chapel. Hero into the pits, but he's really wasn't fighting anyone.
As Let's Talk Golf tries to take a move into Meat Shield, and doesn't quite work, but he goes to the outside in Arena, tries to get a good exit down into the Wellington straight, and is much faster than Meat Shield coming out of the corner. Deploys a little bit of battery, and that's job done.
Yep, and I mean, virtually everyone on the track other than Meat Shield, Tours, and Haulers are on old medium tires. Everyone else who's on mediums is on fresh ones. Of course, you know, excluding the basically bottom four, because they're everyone who's basically had their race ruined by something, spin-ins or crashes or something. Looks like, yeah, Drakenwolf opted for the hards, probably not what anyone else wants to do, but he is definitely going to the end of the race on those. There's no other option for him. Backpack on the fresher softs, he pit around lap 9, so I guess he would be doing a soft medium. Haulers, yeah, everyone else on fresh-ish mediums. Fergie, I would be honestly surprised if he isn't able to cut in this 11-second gap to Tours. If he isn't able to do that, I think we can say that the mediums probably aren't working for him. But as I was just saying, yeah, it looks like Fergie is able to cut in about 0.2 into that time already, just in Sector 1. So it's just a game of catch-up now, and Haulers has got to make sure he stays either outside of his pit stop window, which I think is a bit wishful thinking, or he's got to make sure that he is able to catch him on the softs at the end, which, of course, as we saw in Tier 1, absolutely did happen.
As long as you manage your tires correctly, you should be much faster. You should be much faster coming back out of the softs on the second stint. So it's still Hollish is still in a very comfortable position right now. Oh, Hero. Let's look at...
Third person is following fight fairly closely through comps. I cannot imagine how this little fight's
Someone's spun out.
Oh. In
P16.
Yeah, pit exit. That'll be Hero.
That's a very bad place to spin out as well. You have to go through an entire lap.
Bird Person has recovered a lot of time on Pfeiffer in Maggots and Beckett's. He might actually be able to line up a move here. He does. Pfeiffer defending to the inside. Bird Person goes around the outside of Stowe, and I mean, didn't even need to get to the, yeah, didn't even need to get to the corner.
Yeah. Wow. So we're looking at the strategy. Looking at the strategy right now, Tours would come back out. Probably, I'd say P7.
No,
Yeah, we got.
No.
Yeah,
P9.
P7. Yeah, P9. Let's go with P9. As Bird Person sets a purple sector 3 actually, with an overtake on Fife as well. So he's a man on a mission and very fast.
Fergie has cut the 11-second deficit to 8 seconds to Tours. So I mean, he's progressing fairly well on his mediums, and I think we're about 1 lap away from Haulers coming in to fit the softs and go to the end.
Haulers must be looking at these fastest times and thinking about when he needs to pit. I don't know when I don't know what his strategy is.
He's only half a second off his fastest lap, which I believe actually is the fastest lap of the race at the moment. We can check on the race director.
Mr. Ultra has the fastest lap right now. 130. I forgot, but it's 130 something.
Well, Haulers was fairly close with a 130, I think, flat. So
27.
A 27-second gap coming out on softs. I think he's absolutely going to be able to re-overtake Fergie. Fergie's just trying to make his life hell on the mediums for a chance, and I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, Mr. Ultra, as always in the rear gearbox of Sir Snowman, don't know if that's going to happen. Trash Panda looking for a move on 3-inch Willie coming into turn 3. Bird Person 0.2 off the fastest time so far, so it's a 1:29.8.
Mr. Ultra almost had to push Sir Snowman out of the way through the arena section and loses bunch of time coming out of the exit. That probably ruined his overtake chance.
Trash Panda not even looking for a move down the Wellington as they come into Stowe. I think Trash Panda knows he's going to be able to recover lots of time in braking zones, and they're going to be about even on the straight. So that is what he needs to play to his advantage.
While Haulers comes into the pits to fit a set of softs, that will be a 10-lap stint.
That's I mean, you get the best of the softs. They don't really you won't experience the harsh fall off. So that's good that he can make those mediums last just a bit longer.
Yeah, and I think it's something to do with track evolution, but it's for some reason, like, if you put a new set of tires on in the race, it lasts a little bit longer than if you were to put a fresh set on the start. So he should have absolutely no problem just really gunning it through the last 10 laps. As he comes up just behind Fergie, actually, in P3.
Yeah,
That
I
should
mean,
be done.
that is about where we expected him to come out.
Yeah.
30-ish second, he had a 27-second gap. He's at 1.5 seconds behind. That's our math roughly aligns. Oh,
Yeah.
Trash Panda picking up that warning there. That was a naughty little entry into turn 1. That was, I mean, just a bit over the line, but you see how stringent they are about these penalties. And then we can see if this works this time.
Hollis should very easily be in DRS for the hangar straight. That should be job done. Well, Taurus has to pit at some point. At which point Hollis would inherit P1. Well, Fife gets a 3-second penalty.
We can see Hollers now coming through. Maggots and Beckett's. We got him on the picture-in-picture, catching up to Fergie, as we see also Trash Panda fighting with 3-inch Willie, coming through just about the same section of track as the other two. We can see that, yeah, Trash Panda, I mean, he's keeping a consistent gap. I wonder, he's got a lot of energy compared to 3-inch Willie. He's got about double what 3-inch Willie has, so I wonder whether he's going to be able to get the move. He does close just a bit, and he is looking for the outside of Stowe. And it looks
That's
like
a very
Hollers...
ballsy defense.
Hollers, quote... Oh, no, Torres gets by.
Yeah, they made contact. 3-inch Willie is... Well, if you were going to crash at some point, it would be on the pit entry.
Yeah, that would be the ideal position, as Torres comes into the pits, and that promotes Hollers into P2, Fergie into P3, as now we can absolutely switch to the main view of Hollers on the rear of Fergie. That was a nice little picture-in-picture. Yeah, it looks like Hollers is, I mean, right there, and Fergie's got 8 laps to defend. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it.
Fergie has got to go fast.
I mean, the mediums are good, but I don't think they're fresh, soft good. And definitely not fresh, soft, drop a gear, disappear kind of fast, because I think after Hollers gets by, I do not think that Fergie's going to be able to get back into DRS. Hollers has to deploy all of his energy on this straight here, because... No! Stop not deploying your energy! You can get the overtake! Oh, man. And he goes for the inside, finally.
What do we know?
But it's not good enough. Man.
Fergie's gonna drive for his life right now.
Fergie had very little energy compared to Hollers, and Hollers just put a little dab on it. I mean, you gotta use the battery as much as you can in those situations. It's there for a reason. What good is 60% energy if you're continuously stuck behind the guy and you won't let yourself use it?
You're on soft. Your tire advantage diminishes over time. You need to get the overtake now, especially if you have battery. And Fergie doesn't have a lot of battery either, so you could just really pressure him as he starts deploying down the Wellington straight. Fergie goes to the inside to try to defend.
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of a double move from Fergie. He goes to the middle and then he goes to the inside a second time. He jerks over twice. I'm not entirely sure about that one, Chief. I think Fergie probably should have not moved over and let Hollers have that inside line. I'm not sure about that second defense of it, but I'm sure they're sporting gentlemen. They won't bicker about it. Hollers is just on his gearbox through Maggots and Beckett's. I mean, Hollers, you just gotta hit the energy button and get by.
I guess I kind of get it. If you know for sure you're not gonna get put back, never mind that. As he goes to the inside, going into the corner and does get it.
Yeah, on the exit. I mean, he's not even Fergie's not even close. The start finish obviously doesn't have DRS, so that's an entire sector for Hollers to work his soft magic and get ahead and get a second ahead before he needs to start competing on the Wellington. And now Fergie is actually, sorry, not Fergie, Hollers is deploying on the start finish, and he's 6/10 ahead here. He's gonna have to make a really good turn 3 and 4 to stay and keep that advantage over Fergie.
Now would be a great time to set a fastest lap if you're Hollers.
Absolutely. It looks like by the detection zone, he was not a second ahead, but Fergie is very little energy. Even with the DRS, he's not going to be able to attack for another straight. So I think really Holler's, especially in the next section where it's all about track grip and how much you can send it through Maggots and Beckett's, I do think that Hollers is going to get out of this DRS range and start to walk away with this race. And I don't think the softs are going to drop off enough to give Fergie a chance to get back into it.
Sorry to interrupt you. You need to go through 3 inch. Willie right now is going through an overtake into Stowe and Drakenwolf, and Drakenwolf closes the door very violently and pushes 3 inch Willie off the track.
We can see that on the picture-in-picture replay. No, we can't because it just went away. Great.
A 3 inch Willie is not giving up. Not giving that position, but deploying it down the start finish straight, going through the first and second corners. That's much better through Drakenwolf because Drakenwolf is on hards, and as I said, hards are trash.
Yeah, 3 inch Willie on these softs is really gonna have an easy time getting past Drakenwolf here. He's gonna not even use his battery, which I guess is understandable if you know that the guy in front is on a lot older, harder tires. But I mean, like, if you can't get by on raw pace at this moment, like he couldn't get by on the Wellington, maybe a battery would have done him a lot of good. And he's not even gonna deploy here. Oh no, he is. Okay, down the old start finish, he is deploying. He comes through. As they come through Cops, we're gonna have to see how they line up. I imagine, wow, that's an early downshift from Willie. That's I mean.
But because if he does it, he's gonna clock into Drakenwolf probably.
Absolutely, but I'd lift before downshifting like that, unless I destroy my gearbox in career mode or something. Drakenwolf on the exit is probably not going to be able to retain it, and again, he's not...
Doesn't deploy!
Yeah, Willie isn't using his energy. He is so much more than Drakenwolf. Drakenwolf is literally none. He's deploying on empty. He does get the move done without it, but it would be so much easier, and I think Draken might say that he got forced off there. Draken going for the inside dive. That was quite an impressive move. I'm going to expect at least 2 reports for the driving scene there. That's not saying it's bad, but these guys might not be so happy with the way each other were driving.
That would be,
Trash
I believe
Panda.
the term is unsporting.
Trash Panda on the back of his teammate as Seaway is on the back of his. Trash Panda at least on a straight, and it looks like energy and DRS. He is going to try to get the move done on Mr. Ultra. Mr. Ultra staying to the middle but drifting to the outside is not enough to keep Trash Panda behind, as Trash does take the outside of Stowe.
That's a textbook example of how to use your battery.
Yeah, by using it.
Yeah.
The Haas boys, both without battery. Not surprising to anyone.
So are you suggesting that if you use your battery, it's faster than not using your battery?
No. Now, Mr. Ultra, I mean, he's still right on... I mean, this is his comfort zone, right? Just being within tenths of somebody but not getting the overtake. I think he's going to stay with Trash Panda for a good long while. They're on similar tires and probably genuinely have similar pace. But, I mean, this penalty is really going to come back to bite him in the butt by the end.
Oh, let's check out penalties and see where everyone actually is.
Oh, Seaway with the spin in turn 4. Yowza.
You're lining up for an overtake. You overdrive a little bit, and that's kind of what happens.
Oh, Mr. Ultra with 15, but Trash Panda with 9 seconds of penalties. It is a not a Ferrari-looking day at the moment, gentlemen. Holler's 2 seconds in front of Fergie now. He definitely wants to set at least a track warning gap, because we could go and check Holler's right now about how many warnings he has. He has 2. So if he picks up another warning, that is a penalty, but he's only got 2 so far. What about Fergie? Actually, we can check Fergie as well. Fergie only has... No, he has 2 warnings. Actually, he just picked one up on the last lap. Rather unfortunate, but they're both equally close to a penalty, so that could... I mean, it could determine the outcome of the race. Fergie does have to stay within, 3 seconds of Hollers just for that little chance, and he has to not pick up one for himself. And I said at the very beginning to everyone that, yeah, there are championships decided by track limits. You gotta be careful.
Yes. Meanwhile, near the front, Bacon Juice is about 5 seconds behind Sir Snowman, but Sir Snowman has
Willie
a 3-second
gets
penalty.
killed! Willie gets killed by Drakenwolf! Can we see that on replay? What was that? Oh my god! That was really harsh!
That's extremely unsporting. I'm gonna use that word again.
That was,
But
I mean, 3-inch Willie was far up the outside of Jack and through Maggots and Beckett's there. Or sorry, through Maggots, and he just gets, I mean, sent into the wall, and no safety car, no reprise for this man. That's ooh, that's gonna hurt. He's gonna pit. He's already 20 seconds behind. That's not great. Oh, and he's getting passed by the.
Is he trying to defend against?
No, he's getting left and doesn't have the wing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, is he gonna retire here? He's kind of going slow. He just didn't want to cross the track when there's traffic, of course.
Yeah,
Fergie just on the cusp of that 3-second gap there. Bird Person recovered onto the back of Mr. Ultra, who's been losing pace from his teammate. 2 seconds now. The gap last time we checked was about 7 seconds, and that was about 3 or 4 laps ago.
Yeah, I think he was entitled to that track position, but then if you go too wide into Maggots, that's kind of what happened. Just because you're entitled to track position doesn't mean you should ask for it.
Bird Person is incredibly close to Mr. Ultra and recovers a lot of ground and braking. Actually, that was an entire 2/10 he found there, just from braking a bit later than Mr. Ultra. And he does get a fairly good exit. So does Mr. Ultra. Mr. Ultra drifting a bit more wide, but crucially, Mr. Ultra without DRS is finally deploying his battery. Mr. Ultra actually very close to 0 on battery. That was a very sudden deacceleration from him through Brooklands, and that was almost calamity. Bird Person had to lock the brakes just a bit there to avoid crashing into Mr. Ultra. And that's, I mean, that's, what, 5/10?
Bird Person going... No, it isn't. Okay. I thought he was going to try to go through a move into cops, and that will probably end in tears. As Seaway gets another penalty.
Yeah, Mr. Ultra I expect to be a lot more slow through Maggots and Beckett's than Bird Person, so he's probably taking it just a bit more cautiously. Mr. Ultra running wide, picking up some dirt, but Trash Panda is... Sorry, not Trash Panda. Bird Person is getting on him and around. He's not even going for the inside of Stowe. He's passed on the straight. There is no need to involve the corner at all. Mr. Ultra now again getting passed. That is the second time in a few laps we've seen that.
You can't really fight it if you're Mr. Ultra, especially if you have 15 seconds worth of penalties.
No, you can't, but to add insult to injury, Torres is coming out home on, 6 lap hold now, fresh softs coming up right behind him. I think that that position is going to drop once again for Mr. Ultra before they hit the line. As we are on the second to last lap here, and yeah, it looks like Hollers is cleared Fergie, and neither of them picked up penalties, so that's, unless there's last lap drama, I don't think that's going to change. But Mr. Ultra, now with the benefit of DRS, and Tourist has actually fallen outside of range. He doesn't have it yet, but he is going to soon.
Oh, no! Bird Person gets a 3-second time penalty.
Let's Talk Golf very close to the rear of Pfeiffer here. Pfeiffer drifting onto the grass in what is known as a dirt rally move. It looks like Let's Talk Golf wanted to break around the outside of Brooklands, but he was not far enough to get that move done. He is still going to the outside of Luffield, trying to set himself up, but he's not even, he's not even close. He's just taking wider lines at this point. He's not even setting himself up for anything. As they come through, Cops now will be the next chance for Let's Talk Golf, and he actually gets it done from a fairly poor exit from Cops and Pfeiffer. Not sure if he was late on the accelerator there, but I feel like Let's Talk Golf might recover so much time through Magnus and Beckett's, and he does. He's right on the rear of Fife, and in this last lap, as Hollers is about to cross the line, I think we might see Let's Talk Golf get by Pfeiffer. He goes for the inside of Stowe, both with penalties. I haven't actually checked what the penalty count is. We can go and check right now as he does get the move done, and that was for position. Let's Talk Golf, 6 seconds of penalties. Pfeiffer, 6 seconds of penalties on the last lap. Actually, the last lap now, sorry. They are going around once more. So, Pfeiffer will have the opportunity to, catch up, but I don't think he is, because he's already a second outside of range. As 3-inch Willie sets the fastest lap of the race.
Who's your driver of the day?
I don't have one. I've forced my co-commentator to pick every time.
Oh no. Who's my driver of the day?
Holler's deploying the last of his energy to just get that much further ahead of Fergie, and really give himself any breathing room he might need from penalties or something. He's not going to coast to the end. He's going to push until every last corner is exhausted as he now comes in for his win here, coming through Vale.
Now you're just showing off.
And he crosses the line. 129.1 with the fastest lap.
That's very impressive.
Will Fergie match it? No, he won't, but he loses control of his car like the, I mean, it really is a douchebag move. All the douchebags do it, including me. I did it in Singapore. Totally on purpose. Sir Snowman coming across the line, 130. He's not going to be setting
Misha comes back across the track.
Oh, and
don't do that.
Yeah, Bacon Juice going through the ghost of someone. Bacon Juice up in a P4. What a stellar finish from him. You know what? Actually, what are the position changes? He might be my driver of the day.
Horse being 8 positioned. I was going to give it to him.
Yeah, actually, no. Torres with the medium strat, it actually really worked out for him. But well done to Bacon Juice. I know he's it's been a long time coming to get a finishing position that high again.
Yeah, congratulations. Meanwhile, let's look at any more. We're just looking at the last leader. We're just looking at the last cars going through the lines, and that should be the end of that. Oh, there's one more.
Sorry, not Hollers. Dragon Wolf is yet to cross the line.
Apart from one instance, that was a very we really should give them some credit for that.
I can think of 3 instances of reportable contact.
Well, they were they're probably the same 2 people. So
anyway, driver of the day, the game gave it to Torres.
I was also going to give it to Torres.
Yeah, with the medium strat that ended up working out a treat for him. As I can grab the finishing statistics for everyone. There we go.
So that's Hollows in P1, Fergie P2, and Sir Snowman, even with a 3-second penalty, getting P3. And Hollows getting a fast slap, which will put him very high up in the championship.
Alright, and that is Silverstone for G2. Thank you for joining us, and good night.
Yeah, good night.
I mean,